The Aston Martin DB9 is just an incredible car. This car in itself, the options, the wheels, and then the specification on the inside takes it above and beyond. This car is, well, it's not the year you would expect. It's a 2007 car, not that it looks it at all. And in today's video, we're going to be finding out what this car cost brand new, because in my hand here, I've got the original build sheet and the original invoice. My name is Will, this is the Aston Martin DB9, and you're watching ALX Specialist Cars. So the Aston Martin DB9 is a 6-litre V12 car producing over 450 brake horsepower. This particular example that we have here is finished in onyx black, and it suits this car down to the ground. Now I mentioned this is a 2007 car, not that it looks it, these cars do not age at all. And what this DB9 that we have here has got that a lot of the others on the market do not is the sports pack. So from the exterior, that does make changes that you can see, but also changes that you cannot see. Things like the upgraded alloy wheels are indeed part of the sports pack. And straight from the brochure, which is included with the car, of course, the original brochure that came with the car when it was first manufactured, as well as the invoice, the sports pack combines revised suspension with 5-spoke forged aluminium alloy wheels to give subtly different driving dynamics. So mainly it is just different wheels and different suspension, and it just changes ever so slightly how it handles, but it is an upgrade and quite an expensive one. So the Aston Martin DB9 is of course a 2-door coupe, a very good looking one at that. The exterior is onyx black, but so is the interior. It is also black, but they call this obsidian black. Electronically adjustable seating also, and you actually adjust that slightly different to a lot of other cars, but it's on the center console. Just on the side of it there, you'll see the M321. That is the memory functionality. The car does then of course have sports driving modes, a whole host of other options as well. We'll hop inside shortly and highlight a few of them, but the trim is finished in piano black, which is also an option on these cars. That is something that was paid for. Now I said we had the original build sheet and invoice for this vehicle, which we absolutely do, but what we've also got is a whole host of other paperwork that came with the car. It's had a very recent Aston Martin service from the main dealer itself, and then the paperwork came in a massive stack. It's got an extremely comprehensive Aston Martin and Aston Martin Specialist Service history. It's then even got the original keychain from HWM Aston Martin where it was first purchased. Not something you necessarily need for this car, but I think it's something quite special, and it shows the story and journey this car has been on. But before we head inside and actually listen to how this car sounds, it sounds insane, we'll check out exactly what options this car has got and the costs for each of them. And that is before I tell you the cost of this car brand new. But it's got the LIN 260-watt audio system, which is of course an upgrade on the interior, and that was at a cost of £1,300. The brake caliper finish is actually silver, so from the exterior you'll notice they're painted in a quite bright silver with the Aston Martin logo being embossed on top of them, and that was indeed an option of £250. The contrast stitch on the interior, I mentioned it was obsidian black, but it's got what you might have noticed, a more sort of white bright stitching. That was again an option for £123. The bright furnished grille on the front of the car was £250. The piano black trim I mentioned was £450 just for that bit of trim. The perforated leather seat inserts, £165. Auto dimming rear view mirror, £80. Heated front windscreen, £250, and the big one being the sports pack, which we've spoke about, was £2,123. Let's hop inside the car, check out a few of the features we've actually already discussed, and most importantly, check out how it sounds. So getting in the Aston Martin, it is a 2x2 seat layout. There is 2 in the back, and looking at the rear seats, they appear to have actually never been used, and it doesn't take long to figure out why. You would have to be rather short to fit in them, but nonetheless it's got 4 seats, and being a driver of this car it's an incredible cockpit. So I can adjust my seat, get comfy, and as a place to be. Everything's encompassed towards the front of the car and where you're going. The heated front windscreen is, as I mentioned, an option, so it's good if you're perhaps driving this car in the winter, or maybe it's going to be a bit wet, as it often is in the UK, so quite a handy option. And actually starting the car up, there is a bit of a sequence almost to starting it. So you get the key, which is actually, there's still a manual key for this. You've got the unlock and lock on an electronic fob, and then you've got the start key, well, two of them, on a more manual one like this. So that goes in where you would expect, right on the side there, and then you switch the ignition on. That turns the ignition on, but to actually start the engine, you put your foot on the brake and push that button in the middle there. These controls here, if you've never been in Aston Martin, you'll wonder, what are all these buttons? Well, that's how you put the car into reverse, you put the car into drive and neutral, and of course park. So there's no sort of shifter, there's nothing like that. You just push a button on there, which I think is really cool. These cars do also have an electronic screen. It's got sat nav, you can connect your phone, and that is actually on this little black dial here. And then for the rest of the interior, the piano black trim is all up here. You've then got a more grey trim in the middle, and your controls for your sport mode are here. You've then got parking sensors. The car does indeed have rear parking sensors, as well as all your sort of temperature controls and volume controls just in the middle there. Space on the Aston Martin DB9, well, it's actually really plentiful. So in the door cards, there is a bit of space for perhaps your phone. You've then got a little bit of storage in the middle there. You've got twin cup holders there, and that's probably about it. Not a massive amount, but still a decent amount for a DB9. But that's enough about the space of the DB9. Let's check out the most important feature of this car, which is how it sounds. So guys, as expected, the V12 sounds, it's just absolutely phenomenal. When this car is under load and driving, it's just another level, and the thrill you get from that sound alone is enough to sell you the car. But nonetheless, we decided at the start of this video we were going to guess what this car cost brand new. So I'll give you a minute now, just decide what do you think it was. Bearing in mind this is now less than £30,000 for a 2007 Aston Martin DB9, covered just over 48,000 miles. But the grand reveal, this car was just over £118,000, and that was in 2007, don't forget. So according to the Bank of England, in today's money, that would have been £194,975. Insane. But guys, it is for sale. It is here at our showroom in Ripon. If you'd like any more information, or even to take it on a drive for yourself, please do let me know. My name's Will. I'll be more than happy to help, or any of the team will also be happy to help for that matter. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.